Hey guys, it's Joe here from Red Phoenix RS, and today we're going to be going through a little bit more of our RuneScape Beginner's Guide. So just to start off, we'll get our daily key. And now first up, our goal is to get level 30 in attack, strength, defense, and constitution. Again, if you're going to be training ranged or magic, you're going to do the same thing I'm doing, just with the equivalent gear for ranged and magic. I just always like to build melee focused accounts. Keeps things simple. So basically, all you're going to do is kill trolls. We've already covered this before, so I'm not going to go through all of it again, but just remember they drop plenty of food, so make sure to pick that up if you're running low on health. And I'm not really doing it the optimal way. You should attack something with the corresponding combat style, so if you're training melee, you should be killing something with ranged. If you're training ranged, you should be killing something that uses magic, and if you're training magic, you should be killing what I'm killing now, which are the melee trolls. Ultimately, I haven't found that it makes that big of a difference in kill time, so I'm just not going to worry too much about it. Also, you can always hop to another world if the one that you're in is full. I don't recommend using the worlds with the least population or the ones with the most population, but if you find one with a low to medium-sized population, usually no one will be at trolls. But people tend to farm the good spots on the most populated and the least populated worlds. I have opted against showing the entirety of this grind, even sped up 8 times, because an hour and a half is still a long time even at 8 times speed. Alright, so now that we have the stats, we're going to work on getting our mythical armor. And because that didn't buy right away, and I want to wait till I have the mithril to do any questing, we're just going to stand here and make a little bit of money while we wait for the armor to buy. Fortunately enough, I reached the buy limit on feathers, and my mithril armor set came in at just about the same time. So in about 20 minutes, we made 175k, nearly tripling our cash stack from the first day. That is one thing, if you want to effectively use this money-making method, you're gonna have to buy as much inventory as you can in advance, because there is a 10,000 trade limit on feathers, and a 20,000 buy limit on arrow shafts. And that is the one thing that is really gonna mess up your GP per hour. Alright, so now we're gonna start Goblin Diplomacy. Now this is possibly the easiest quest in this game, and it's a good one to get out right away because it gives you 5 quest points, which will help us along when we need to get Dragon Slayer done, because I think you need 30 or 35 quest points to do that quest in the first place. Now, I messed up a little bit in this, but I will explain how to do the quest correctly before I get too far into it. So basically, you have 2 choices. You can buy an orange dye and a blue dye in advance, and then you can go to Goblin Village and you can pick up 3 sets of Goblin Mail. Now, I didn't know where they were. I thought they were going to be inside the room with you, but they're actually behind it. I couldn't find them, so I just went back to the Grand Exchange and bought 3 sets of Goblin Mail, which is your second option, is just bring the Goblin Mail with you. You can even dye it before you get there. You just need 1 blue set, 1 orange set, and 1 regular set. So basically, I wasted a whole bunch of time looking for it where it wasn't, and then going all the way back to the Grand Exchange just to have to go back to the Goblin Village again. Now, for simplicity's sake, I would just recommend that you buy the Goblin Mail at the Grand Exchange, buy the dyes at the Grand Exchange, dye it all there, teleport over here, and you can have this quest done in way less than the 5 minutes it took me. All with a total cost of about 5,000 gold. Alright, so there's 1 quest done in, again, about 5 minutes, and that's with a massive screw up. You really can't get this one wrong. So, on to quest 2, which is Cook's Assistant. This one is also super easy, although they have updated it a bit since the last time I did it, so I got a bit lost here. But they haven't changed it too much, I can still do it from memory. Basically, step 1 is just talk to the cook here in the Lumbridge Castle. He'll explain how he's having a bad day. The Duke needs a cake. He doesn't have the ingredients for this grand cake for the Duke's grand feast. Okay, so now you just want to run north, and the first thing that you're going to go to is the cowfield northeast of Lumbridge Castle. If you have ever played this game before, you will be very familiar with this spot, because this used to be where everyone went to train right away in the game. Now, I strongly recommend that you don't just milk the first cow that you see, but that you actually go grab the bucket and milk the prize dairy cow over in the corner there. Although if you milk the wrong cow, you do get some interesting dialogue, so there's that. And especially if you milk the wrong cow without a bucket. Alright, so now we're going to run over to the chicken farm across the bridge. I initially ran over to the one right next to the cows, and that is not the correct farm. The chicken farm across the bridge, though, has a prized egg sitting there in the corner. And it took me a minute to see it, but that's your egg. That's what you're looking to get. Now, finally, you want to run over to the flour mill, just west of here. Before you go in, I recommend that you grab some grain from the field adjacent to here. And also, you should talk to the lady in the basement, because if you don't, it won't let you do the next step. I make sure to make all the easy mistakes, so you don't have to. Now you just come up to the top, put the grain in the hopper, and then pull the lever. And of course, I pulled the lever before I put the grain in the hopper, because why wouldn't I? Alright, so now just grab the pot on the table here, and fill it up with grain. And now we're just going to return to the cook in Lumbridge, and he will finish the quest for us. Alright, so finally we have one more quest to do, which is Imp Catcher. And this is the quest that has changed the most since I last did it. Back in the day, you could just buy the beads and bring them to the wizard, and the quest would be done. Then they made it so the beads were special and would only drop during the quest and weren't tradable. But you could still just farm all the beads and it would be over. Now there are 4 imps in 4 locations who have 4 puzzles for you to do, and I didn't know how to do any of them. Now most of them are self-explanatory, but a couple of them are a lot easier to do with a guide, so I'll explain those 2 more in depth for you. Alright, so now in the wizard tower, you're just going to go up to the 2nd floor. The guide said first. I'm not British, and I completely forgot this game was made by you Brits who don't know where the 1st floor of a building is. It's on the 2nd floor. So you're just going to talk to Wizard Mizgog here, and he will explain the quest to you, and give you the option to accept it, all that goodness. Alright, now you can do the imps in any order. I just kind of did them in the order that I remembered where they were. So, first off, we're going to do the one that is northwest of Varrock, which I would actually call west because it's basically right on the road heading straight west out of the center of Varrock, but whatever. It's their game, they can choose where the cardinal directions are, I guess. Now, this one is one of the easier ones. He's going to challenge you to a race. You run around in a circle, and you just kind of click on the waypoints, and no matter what, he's going to lose because he'll just get exhausted after like 2 laps, and you got to run 3 or something like that. Alright, so with the race over, he's gonna puke up the bead on your shoes. I don't know. Alright, so next up we're gonna do the 2nd imp, who is in the northeast of Varrock. This one actually justifies being called north because it's almost to the sawmill, which itself is almost to the wilderness. Now, this imp has a dialogue puzzle, and so for this one, you're just going to say, why would he be disappointed? Then some days you'll have setbacks, tomorrow is a new day. And then take your time, no one is rushing you to feel better. Alright, so next is the imp in Algorid, and when we go to him, and so for this imp, all we gotta do is run up, talk to him for a second, he'll challenge you to fight. Now, I think anyone could one-hit him no problem, because, well, he only has 5 HP. So, we're done with this imp, now we're on to my least favorite imp, because I forgot to do a step. So, fortunately, by forgetting to do this step, I just had to restart this entire imp. So what you're going to want to do is go to Lumbridge, and you're going to want to pick up this little bowl here. You're going to want to fill it with water. And then you'll want to use it on a range to make a bowl of hot water. And then we're going to run to this last imp in the Lumbridge Swamp. And all we have to do with him is suggest that he accept a hot bowl of water because he has a allergy problem. So now we just head back to the wizard at the wizard's tower, and that's the end of the quest. Now we got some keys for doing the quests and another key while we were killing trolls, so we're going to use those real quick because why wouldn't we? And now to cap this off, we're just going to finish making as many unfinished arrows as we possibly can before this is all done. And we've already hit our feather buy cap for 4 hours. So we're not going to buy more feathers off the Grand Exchange, we can still buy them from a friend. This is another one of those places where having a clan comes in handy. Because someone in my clan was able to just run out, grab me some feathers, and stuff like that. You can also ask random players around you at the Grand Exchange if they would be willing to buy some feathers for you, or if you just have a friend who plays, whatever, just find someone who has not hit their trade limit and see if they are willing to buy them for you. And so now we have 400,000 gold worth of coins. We have another several thousand gold worth of arrow shafts on their way in. We weren't able to hit the half-mil target just because of trade limits and because my friend also hit his trade limit, but we will be able to make a mill next time pretty easily from here. And so that's it for today, guys. I will see you all next time.